In this video I'm going to talk a little bit about simplifying roots before moving on to the topic of surds, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. So I've told you that if we've got the root of a times b, that's the same as equal to the root of a times the root of b. And we can use this to what we call simplify roots, so that's kind of what we did before. But let's have an example. So let's say we've got square root of 8, so that's equal to square root of 2 times 4, I think you'll agree, which is the same as the square root of 2 times the square root of 4, and we know that the square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 2 is what we call a surd, and I'm going to explain what that means in a minute. So we can write that as 2 times square root of 2. So we can change some parts of, we can kind of factor out what's inside the square root, and then remove some of it while leaving other bits as a square root. Okay, so what do I mean by surd? So this is simplifying. So a surd is a square root that cannot be simplified to a rational number. So for instance, if we've got the square root of 4, that's equal to 2, nice normal number. We've got the square root of 9 over 16, that's 3/4. So again, that's a nice simple number, so it can be expressed as a ratio. That's what rational means. But the square root of 2, there's nothing else we can do with it, and it's 1.414213562, etc. forever. And the square root of 3 is equal to square root of 3 is equal to 1.73205, etc., etc. So these numbers carry on forever. They're irrational. We can't express them as a ratio, as a fraction. Square root of 5 is equal to 2.23606. Square root of 7 is equal to 2.6457. Goes on forever. So if we take this square root of 2, we could kind of round it down. So square root of 2 is about equal to 1.41. But if we multiply back 1.41 times 1.41, that's equal to 1.9881. So almost 2, but not quite. So that's why we need, this goes on for infinity to reach exactly 2. So this isn't very precise if we start trying to decide a number of decimal places. So in a lot of cases, it's better to keep these numbers as what we call a surd, so in the square root form. And you might want to simplify so you can get everything out you can, so you're left with the smallest surd possible, but yeah, so these are surds. So it's often better to leave surds in the root form. And I hope that does the job about that.